Welcome to Flip the Script with Vic, a sacred space for honest, unfiltered, and sometimes taboo conversations between women walking the path of truth, healing, and soul remembrance. What started as my personal exploration has become a communal prayer, a podcast devoted to amplifying women's stories in their own words. I'm your host, Victoria Nielsen, intuitive healer, mama, and space holder for the divine feminine. Here, we gather as cycle breakers, mothers, mystics, creatives, witches, and wild ones, flipping the script on what it really means to be a woman in today's world. Through raw interviews, intimate solo casts, and brave conversations, we'll chat about motherhood, mysticism, psychedelics, spirituality, and more. You'll be reminded that your voice matters, that your truth matters, that you're here to walk in beauty. So be the prayer, and let's flip the script. Are you ready? Let's jump on in. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Flip the Script with Vic. It's your host, Victoria Nielsen. I have the best freaking job in the world, and every single week I am so excited to introduce you to new amazing women from around the world. This week I have Ash Vanderhoven from South Africa, who is an alchemist, a coach, a guide, a badass woman. She was an actress. She might still be an actress. I don't know. We're going to talk about that if that's still like going on in the background. And we met during a mastermind a couple years ago. And I've always been in awe of your light and how you've always reminded everyone to stay golden. And I don't know if I ever even told you when we were in the group together, I have the Outsiders tattooed on my back, like stay gold from Pony Boy, about how like nothing gold can stay. So every time you always did that, I was like, oh, we're connected. I see you there.
Is that
So welcome to the podcast, Ash.
It's like I have to interject and say I love that. I don't know if this is the end. Thank you for that. Yeah, what a beautiful world getting to connect all around. And I just remember you being such a powerhouse in that mastermind. And I've also just equally loved watching your journey since then. I am the alchemized spirit on Instagram. And it's so funny you said I'm an alchemist. I just went to this incredible retreat in Bali, and my roommate, usually I don't like to room, but my friend who was running the retreat was like, I've met some of my best friends rooming with people. So I challenge you to room with someone. I'm like, okay, fuck, fine. Like usually I like to I love my own space. So like I'll socialize so hard and then I just want to, be in my own space. Yeah, and not feel like I have to like give more, Anyway, she let me room with this legitimate alchemist, this incredible woman. Her name's Kara. Forget what her name is on Instagram, but she's like a psychic advisor to like CEOs, the UN, the Sudanese government, all this stuff. And she flies, so she does that. She's like super psychic, and then she flies around the world collecting like a lotus flower from this continent when the moon is blooming at this time. No, it's insane. And then like this clay from this cave also like on the solstice and like collects the resin and then brings it back to a laboratory in her house in Australia, in Darwin. She's got this like secret lab in her house from her kids. It sounds like, I was like, is she making this shit up? But she literally showed me videos.
You're like, you're just trolling me. Like, you're just trying to be like the over-the-top spiritual stereotype.
I was just like, what am I? And she's so kind, so humble, like incredible. Anyway, and then she like makes these things into tinctures, and she's got this blue lotus tincture and this gold tincture. Anyway, I was like, she's like, what do you do? I was like, I wasn't.
You're like, I'm an alchemist too, also,
yeah.
maybe.
It was so funny. And I was like, it was actually quite beautiful that we shared together. She was so cool. She wasn't like, but I had to think about it. And I was like, well, what kind of alchemist am I? And then I actually went and told her, I was like, I'm a story alchemist. I help women come to me and they're telling a certain story about themselves, about their life. And usually it's one of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, the inner critic's taken over. They're telling just not their hero's journey story. And they come and work with me and I help them completely alchemize that story into like the true story of their life and who they really are and why they are so capable and kind and expansive and all the things. So, yeah.
And I remember, oh my gosh, I had totally forgotten. What was the thing you used to say? Your inner critic is a dick? Is that what it
Yes.
was? Yeah.
Deepest inner critic. Yeah. What's your dick saying? Your deepest inner critic.
What's your dick saying today? And I was like, I love this so much. But I know this was not always your path and your trajectory. I mean, you were an
Yeah.
actress for a while. Are you still acting at all, or is that like totally done with now?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. So when I see, I shot a commercial last year, which was really cool. Was it this year? Last year? I don't know. It's all time
I
warp.
think it was last
Recently.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about like 7 months ago, and I get auditions that come through, but it's not pulling me the way it did. It's one of those things where I'm like, if I feel like I need to go back there, I will. But I love this business so much. I love this work so much. I eat, sleep, breathe this. And I loved that career because it brought me to coaching. And it's funny because I almost actually just filmed a reel today about how you're not everyone actually gets to achieve their dreams, but it's not about the dream. It's about who you become along the way. So yeah.
Mic
So
drop. Say that again.
yeah.
Say that again.
It's not actually about the dream. It's about who you become along the way in pursuit of that thing. Because some like Olympic athletes, their dream is to be a gold medalist. And some of them go to the Olympics and never step fucking foot on the podium. And they bled their eyes out to get there. They gave it everything. And so you can't say that like we're all just like meant to achieve it. So, but it doesn't mean that you don't go after it. If it's on your heart and it's in your joy and in your path, you're meant to pursue that thing. And then the skills, the experiences, everything that you collect along the way is who you meant to become on that journey. And then when you pivot, which like I just pivoted, you're going to have all of that intel, basically IP in your system of like mindset and spirituality and who you truly are and who you authentically are. And that will serve you in the next step. And then you can quantum leap really quickly. Like I teach quantum leaps a lot and I've had a lot of them, but it's because I've allowed myself to see how much I've gotten, even if I'm going in a different direction. And then I can quantum leap quickly when I can truly see what value I have and I'm authentic, if that makes sense.
Love that. No, that makes total sense. And I feel like this is rewiring my brain chemistry right now because we've always been told, right, that like success is that end goal. It is you being on the podium, getting the medal. But you're right. Not everyone's going to be a fucking Olympian. You know what I actually watched the other night? This is funny.
No.
Did you ever see that movie Stick It? That like the gymnastics movie from the early 2000s?
Oh, obsessed.
I love it. I was on the other night and Kurt Russell's character, the coach, like lies to all the girls and says like, we're going to go to the Olympics. Like you're going to make it to the Olympics. And it's like, she comes, the sassy protagonist kind of comes and is like, oh, like that's going to be a really big Olympic team then. Like, cause that's not even fucking possible. And it just, how many times have we been told that like, that's the gold star, that's the gold standard. And then we miss all of the real gold, the real gifts that we've been given. Because you're right, if we can actually learn the lessons along the way, that when we do pivot, we're at such a better advantage to be able to take off because we've done the work. We've seen where we're still playing in our shadows, or maybe where we still have stories that are repeating. And, the stories are normal. They're going to happen, but it's up to us to change them and to alchemize and move through them. Do you find with your clients, like, I love using Kundalini yoga to reprogram the subconscious mind. Are there any particular stories and patterns that you see a lot in women that like you think it maybe been told over, I guess, society that like now we need to get these like out of our system so that we stop telling them?
I think there's so many, but one recent one that I've really been seeing holding a lot of women back, especially women in their 30s, women who are driven, ambitious, high performing. Sometimes they don't even think they're successful because they're just so hard on themselves. I've been loving this idea of like, the story that like they need to prove themselves, or I call it like intern energy. So some women are in their 30s, their mid 30s, and they are still operating in their jobs or in their whatever, they're underpaid and they're still acting like an intern. Like they have to prove themselves or ask for permission, or I'm like, babe, you're not in like, you're not post university or college or whatever anymore. Like you have all this experience, and it's time to like stop overworking and proving yourself and asking for permission, all that bullshit performing. How do you want me to be? How do you like, it's time to step into leadership energy and like leave that story behind that you need to prove yourself. So that's one I'm
I
seeing.
love
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
The intern mindset, that's, I mean, again,
Yeah.
Ash has so many gold nuggets that like I'm already taking from this, but it's really true. Like
Yeah.
we wait for permission. We wait for that green light from
Yeah.
someone else instead of just like following what we want to do. And we're like
Yeah.
waiting there like, okay, tell me what to do, please. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, give me the next task instead of being the one to stand up for yourself. And you know what I've noticed? That the more that I stand in my boundaries and the more I raise my standards, it actually makes everyone around me raise theirs. And
Yeah.
actually makes them like maybe have to have boundaries or maybe have to have some like hard realizations. And that can be a hard pill to swallow, I think, for some people, because then, maybe, I don't know, we're seen as bitchy because we're holding our ground. But like, it's time to rewrite that story. Like, I actually don't think being called a bitch is a bad thing. Like, I'm like, go right ahead. Call me a bitch.
We are having so much synchronicity right now. I feel like I'm going to say this a million times in this podcast, but I'm going to put a reel out called Forget Year of the Fire Horse. It's Year of the Bitch. Okay? Because
I'm just like tapped into your energy. I love it.
I was like, some of us people pleasers, like some of us women need to have, and like Year of the Bitch is just not like overextending your energy for other people. Again, like saving, being extra nice, making sure that they know I was being nice when I said that. I don't have time. I don't have time anymore. I just don't have the energy. Yeah.
No, because you're going to be a mama.
Yes. Oh my God.
And you will, I mean, your priorities have shifted now. Like, just wait. I won't say they'll shift. They'll solidify even more. And you really will start to like not take any more bullshit and be like, time is of the essence and my time is precious. And actually, I'm going to raise the value of my time because I only have so much of it,
Totally. I was feeling the shift before I felt pregnant, and then when it happened, even I'm just so conscious. I'm just over first trimester. I'm so lucky that I wasn't that nauseous. I had 1 day of nausea. I've actually felt amazing. I'm just tired. But apart from the fatigue, my mood has been amazing. I want to be pregnant forever. Literally. I
love that. That was my first one. I felt great the whole pregnancy. My second, I was really nauseous in the beginning, and then I was fine after.
Yes.
But yeah, there are two different kids, two different energies, two different personalities. Like, it's wild. I became more spiritual with my second than I was with my first. So like, I got Reiki attuned while I was pregnant, like all of that kind of stuff with my second. And he's like my Cancer, like lover boy. He is so sweet. Not that my Capricorn is not. He's just he's my Sour Patch Kid. He's a little sweet and spicy. And that was my energy at the time. So it makes total sense.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, I just, was to loop that story, and it's just, I'm so conscientious of my energy, and I'm just like, no, I don't have time.
Well, because also, okay, wait, are you guys still flipping Airbnbs, or like, I say you guys, you and your partner, for those listening, but you also like are an amazing designer too, on top of everything else.
I know, that just came through out of nowhere. People keep asking me to interior design their houses, and I'm like, how much will you pay me? Because it's a lot of work. I've just got so much going on. It's so beautiful. Like 5 years ago, I always make this joke that like you could have paid me 5 years ago, you could have paid me to babysit an almond. I swear to God. Like nothing was happening in my life, and I just wanted to make money, and I needed to make money, and and now I'm like, there's such cool things. My one friend also was like, we should start like a concierge for spiritual events and people for all these foreigners coming down. I'm like, babe, I'd love to, but I don't have time. So the interior design thing is like, unless you pay me a shit ton of money, I don't have time. But we just got.
Wait, are you a Manny Gen in human design? No,
I'm a Gen.
Okay, you're a Gen, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you do have more energy than most, but still,
Yeah, I'm ADHD, so I need to like try and just pick two things. And I also almost actually burnt out over December, Jan with the Airbnbs and my coaching business, just everything all at once. Success, but just woke up with like so much on my plate. But yeah, the we got our third one together, all in the same building. And my partner like said we must buy the whole building. And then I kind of poo-pooed on his idea. And I was like, that's never gonna happen. This is when we had two. I was like, I want to get a third one. He's like, well, we should get in the building. And I said, well, that's gonna take forever. And then I caught myself and I was like, wait, why am I? He's like, he's the visionary. It's scary because I'm a visionary. He's like a visionary. And I was like, why am I poo-pooing on this idea? I'm a manifestor. I can do what it can happen way sooner than we think. That Tuesday, our neighbor messaged us and said, we're selling our place. Do you want to buy it? And so now we own a third of the building on our plight to the 9 units. So our plan is to buy the whole
Like
building.
it's happening. I'm just gonna
100%.
claim it for you. Like it's happening. And then I'm gonna come host a retreat in South Africa, and we're gonna put up all the women in your
Perfect.
apartment building.
100%. Perfect. We'll book it out. Let's book it out now. I'll take a deposit. It's happening.
2029 coming in hot.
See, we both knew it was 3 years.
Wait, did you just say the same thing? And I didn't even hear.
You said 2029 and I said 3 years.
I love this. Oh my God. You guys, I mean, if you all don't believe in magic, like Ash and I haven't talked in 5 years, probably.
I know.
Like, I don't even know when that mastermind was. That wasn't 5 years ago. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't
3.
know.
I think 2 or 3. Yeah.
3. I mean, we talk on Instagram, but like, we're not like connected in, our everyday lives. So just, I love the synchronicities. I love like the connections and really like, this really just shows me, I mean, we're all telepathic and we're all connected. Like when you can stop and just connect with someone's energy, like we did a short 3 breaths before we got on this call. And like that helped us drop in together. And like, what if people just did that in their everyday lives? Like, how amazing would that be?
It'd be so ideal for the planet. But it is. I also have like, I feel like I live 2 lives sometimes because I've got some friends here who are like so not spiritual, and then I've got obviously all my very spiritual friends, whatever that means. But then I've got like all my coacher, healer, woo friends, and I often host these things, and I invite my non coachy, worky, spiritual friends into it. And people love this shit. Like if you just have the courage, like everyone wants to drop in, actually. And I'll be like embarrassed to like, not embarrassed, but there will be like a little part of me that's like, everyone's going to think I'm whatever.
Because we've been conditioned to think that. We all say like, we say like, oh, we know we're woo woo, like we know it's weird. Or I used to say that sometimes. I used to be like, I know it's weird. And like, I've stopped saying that because you're right. I think the world is craving like us coming back into our priestesshood, us coming back to these ceremonies and like ways of being in the world that are more devotional and more intentional and more honoring of our actual energy and like soul gifts and purpose. I see more and more of it that like, I don't know if people are ready to claim it, but there's a lot of eyeballs now looking at stuff on my pages. I'm like, oh, you're interested. You're interested.
Yeah. People are craving magic and they're just craving what they already know. We had that huge COVID awakening where like suddenly everyone was into breath work or cold plunging, and like everyone, like guys from school like were like following me. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, people are and if I love that you say you don't apologize for it anymore. It's like setting the energy for the room is like, this is not normal. This is normal. Like, this is not weird.
Exactly. Because when you say it, it's like you project it into the energy, like your words are spells. And it's almost like I'm poo-pooing on my own gifts, which like, that's shitty.
Yeah. And people respond. So I did I don't know if you know this, but I spent a year in high ticket sales recently for a business coaching program. Yeah, it was crazy, incredible, like really expansive for me. And I learned just how important it is to set the tone. As a coach, you have this obviously, but like set the tone in chats in the room, how like being the leader, the energy. And it's like when you really step into your power of like, I'm setting the tone of what's normal in this room, people get on board. We're so like sheepy in a way, in a weird way like that. Like people are just like, so if you're holding the stronger energy, people just slot in really easily.
And I'd rather it be the stronger spiritual, like beautiful energy than some of the other energies that are out there right now in the world that are taking advantage of that. Because you're right. I think in times of uncertainty, people want to be led. They want to have faith in something. They want to feel like there is meaning and purpose, and there is, but sometimes it gets given to the person that's the loudest person in the room rather than the person that has actually like the most authority. And we as women are doing ourselves a disservice if we're not the ones setting the tone in the room. And that starts in your home, right? Like that starts with your family, with your partner, with your kids, like, you know, and then it ripples out into the world. But like, if you're not that person at home, how can you expect to be that person out in the world? And vice versa, you know?
Totally. And what's cool is if you put yourself up to the challenge of doing it at home with these very like the closest relationships, that will be the most like you can take those codes. It's never going to be as hard as with your kids and your partner ever, because there's just so much shit.
That's the initiation right there, is having those hard fucking conversations with your partner, breaking those cycles that you and your partner have been in for generations. Like that's the hard fucking work. Let me tell you. Now it makes it look like child's play out when I go out and do it in the world or do it with my clients. I'm like, oh, this is easy.
Exactly. You take those codes out there. It's never going to be as hard.
Never. What do you want to share before we wrap up, Ash? What's on your heart? What's coming through the channel today that just like needs to be out in the world?
I would just say what needs to be two things. I would love to talk about my program, but I want to check to see if there's anything on my heart. You know, it's never been more important, I believe, in the world to know how to lead yourself. I think that's wants to come through, like self-leadership and authenticity. Like those two things are just the most important. We're seeing this with AI, I think, is like, and I don't care what industry you're in, like AI is calling forward. I actually love AI, but it's calling forward like for people to really tap into their depth of authenticity. It's also self-leadership, because now you can basically do anything with AI. So you actually like, what's your excuse? You know, like, so it's
like you have an assistant, you have an idea person, you have a financial expert, you know,
you've got it all there and you just have to tap in and learn it. So why won't you learn? Or why won't you, you know, so it's that ability to lead yourself. And those are the greater things in the consciousness. And with regards, so I just want to throw that out. And I think that anyone who's listening to this is obviously on that path. And so I think it's cool to like just clock that, like, cool, let me go on a little authenticity journey and a self-leadership journey. Like, what does that mean to me? And I would love to speak about my program, which is a 3-month, it's a 90-day program, and it helps women. Look, it's a lot of things, but basically I help high achieving women to get over self-doubt, imposter syndrome, completely rewire their inner critic, and quantum leap in the space of 90 days. And usually what happens by the end is people have doubled their income in 90 days without focusing too much on strategy. It's all energetics. It's exactly what I said in the beginning of the podcast about alchemizing your story, like really telling the story of the woman that you know you're meant to be and getting that into your neural pathways, because I work with neuroscience and spirituality. So if that feels good to anyone, I highly recommend you come to my page, poke around on my page, see if you even like my vibe, see if you liked my vibe today. We can hop on a call. I don't accept everyone. I've actually said no to quite a few people because the group space is really, really important to me. So, but don't feel nervous about that either. The point is we get on the call and it's either meant to be or it's not. And yeah, I would love to have you there. People are having amazing, amazing results. Yeah.
And we'll have all of that in the show notes for you guys as well. And the self-leadership, I mean, that's key. Monarch Mystery School, we're launching our Sovereign Self-Leadership Program actually in August around the eclipse. So a little breadcrumb for that. There'll be more there. But
program.
What happened?
Is it called the Self-Leadership Program?
Oh, no, it's called Sovereign. But like our tagline is about like self-leadership. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God, that's so
funny. Just some more synchronicity on this call. I love that. I'm going to look into that.
But I think that's where everyone's heading, or at least if they are, on that awakening path. Like, as you said, if they're here listening, they are on that path to self-leadership. And Ash and I have resources to support you. As she said, she's the Alchemized Spirit on Instagram. And is your website just thealchemizedspirit.com?
Yeah, exactly. Alchemized with a Z. So you've already been alchemized, past tense.
Yay.
Alchemized.
Well, I love, you're like, it's done. It's happened. It's already been foretold.
Yeah, you land on a page, consider it done. Jokes.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, Ash. This has been such a beautiful synchronistic conversation. Ladies listening, if you have been liking this, please like, rate, subscribe, review, share with another woman who needs to be expanded, who needs to be empowered, who needs these codes, this frequency to step into or begin to step into that next level of herself. Continue to come back and listen every single week. I'm here every Tuesday sharing these conversations from my heart to yours. Thanks for being here and be good to one another. I'll see you real soon.